Today we're going to go through the paper we have done last week. So question 1, we want to make t the subject of the formula. This means making t by itself on one side of the equation. Firstly, we need to expand the bracket, so we have 2 multiplied by a becomes 2a. Then 2 times t becomes plus 2t, which is equals to 5t plus 7. Since we want to make t the subject, we want to make t by itself on one side of the equation. So we have 2a. Now we want to make 2t on the other side of the equation, so we have 5t minus 2t plus 7. So 2a is equals to 5t minus 2t is 3t plus 7. Now we want to make t by itself on one side of the equation, so we minus 7 on both sides. I have 2a minus 7 equals to 3t. And left with t the subject, so we left with 2a minus 7 divided by 3. So t is equals to 2a minus 7 over 3. Part B, we are asked to solve the simultaneous equation. So we can consider 3x minus 4y equals to 8. So this is our equation 1. And we can call 9x plus 5y equals to minus 1.5. This is our equation 2. So step 1, we need to do is to remove one of the variables. So we could remove x or remove y. In this case, I'm going to remove my x variable. So I'm going to remove x or y. So I have 3x minus 4y equals 8. So to remove the x variable, I need to make the two x's are the same. But I have 3x and 9x, therefore I need to multiply my equation 1 by 3. So when multiplying the equation, I need to multiply by every single term. So 3x multiplied by 3 becomes 9x. Minus 4y multiplied by 3 is minus 12y. And 3 times 8 is equals to 24. And I'm going to call this equation my equation 3. So I'm just going to copy out my equation 2. So I have 9x plus 5y equals to minus 1.5. So lots of you have got this step correctly. Then the next step, step 2, if the variable x is the same sign, so if it's same sign, we're going to subtract. And if they're different sign, we're going to add. As we can see here, 9x and 9x, they are the same sign, so we're going to subtract the two equations. So we're going to subtract equation 3 by equation 2. So 9x subtract 9x is 0. Minus 12y minus 5y is minus 17y. 24 minus 1.5 is the same as 24 add 1.5. So it becomes 25.5. Then solving your equation. So y is equals. So step 3. Solve to find y. So this is 25.5 divided by 17 minus 17. Remember this is minus 17 multiplied by y, so we need to divide by minus 17. So just type into your calculator. So 25.5 divided by minus 17, you should have minus 3/2. Then step 4, you're going to substitute your y value into any of the equations above. It could be 1, could be 2, it could be 3. So I'm just going to pick the easiest one. So I'm going to substitute into my equation 1. So substitute. So I have 3x minus 4, and this is multiplied by y is minus 3 over 2, which is equals to 8. Now solve our equation. So 3x, so minus 4 multiplied by minus 3 over 2. So type into your calculator, you should get 6. So minus times a minus becomes a positive. So 3x is plus 6 equals to 8. Therefore 3x is equals to 2 and x is equals to 2/3. So x is equals to 2/3 and y is equals to minus 3 over 2. Question 2, simplify. So, and a lot of you have done this correctly. So simplify just means collecting the similar term. So 5x plus x is 6x. Then plus 4y minus 7y is minus 3y. Part B, we asked to solve. So again, to expand our bracket, which is 7x. 2 times 7 plus 14 equals to 7. Since it's add, so we subtract. So 7x is equals to 7 minus 14. Therefore 7x is equals to minus 7. And your x is equals to minus 1. Question 3, factorize. Factorize just means putting this into 2 double brackets. And the step I showed you, if it's just x squared, that means we're going to put x as the first part. Then remember how we said it? So we have ax squared plus bx plus c. So that's the format of our quadratic. And to factorize, we need to find 2 numbers that multiplies, give you c, and add together, give you b. And the value c is 27, and they need to add together to give you minus 12. So we start by writing down the factors for 27. So 2 numbers multiplied together give you 27. So we can have 1 and 27, so that's not right. 3 and 9. So 1 plus 27, that will give you 28, so that's not the right answer. 3 plus 9, that give you 12, so that's not right. But remember, 2 negative numbers multiply together also give you positive 27, and they add together give you minus 12, so that is correct. So to factorize, we have x minus 3 and x minus 9. Solve the equation. So we already factorized, so we got to this step, so it's x minus 3 and x minus 9 equals to 0. Now we have to do is just setting each bracket to 0. So x minus 3 is 0, or x equals to 9 equals to 0. X minus 9 equals to 0. So we have x could either be 3 or x equals to 9. Next part, we asked to factorize y squared minus 100. Straight away, we can see this is a quadratic, and to factorize, we will have 2 double brackets. And this is a special case, which is called the difference of 2 square number, because we are minus a square number. 100 is a square number, and we just y and y, and because it's a difference of 2 square numbers, so it will be plus 10 and minus 10. Similarly, if you have y squared minus 4, again, this is difference of two square numbers. So factorize, we know the first term is y and y, difference of two square numbers. So we have plus 2 and minus 2. Question 4. We taught Mary travels to work by train every day. The probability that her train will be late on any day is 0.15. And remember, probability always sum to 1. Therefore, she can either be late or on time to work. Therefore, if the probability of she's being late is 0.5 and the total is 1 minus 0.15. So the probability of she being late must be 0.85. So some of you has made calculation errors. Please just use your calculator to double check. So 1 minus 0.15 is 0.85. So it's the same thing, the probability late on any day is the same, so it's 0.15. Therefore, not late is 0.85. So she's being late is 0.15 and not late is 0.85. Part B, we asked to work out the probability that her train will be late on at least one of those 2 days. So at least late on one of those 2 days, that means she could be late on both days, late on one day but not the other, or not late and late. So both of the 3 cases, she is late on one of the days. And to find out, we need to multiply them together. So 0.15 multiplied by 0.15. So late on both days is 0.0225. Late on Thursday but not on Friday, the probability is 0.15 multiplied by 0.85. Not 0.1275. And late, not late, is 0.1275. But we want to work out the probability that her train will be late on at least one of those 2 days. So we need to add them together. And your answer should be 0.2775. So the probability that her train will be late on at least one of those 2 days is 0.2775. So here is a Venn diagram. So write down the numbers that are in set. So remember U, what we said U means union. So union just means it's in A and it's also in B. So everything that's shaded in, so that means it's in A and it's also in B. So your answer should be 15, 12, 18, 10, 16, and 14. The next part, this N means intersection, which means it's in A and it's also in B. So your answer is 12 and 18, because only those two numbers is in A and in B. So this N means intersection. One of the numbers in the diagram is chosen at random. Find the probability that the number is in set A complement. So this symbol here means A complement. That means what's not in A. So remember this circle here, we call it A. So what's not in A is everything outside A. So what do we have outside A? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So we have 7 numbers that's not in A. And we want to find out the probability. Remember, probability is your success over your total. So how many numbers not in A? Which is 7, so that's your success. And what's the total number? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 numbers in total. So the probability that the number is in set A complement is 7 over 10. The question 6 is really tricky. So what we have here is that we thought that there are R right counters and G green counters in a bag. So let's draw a bag. So we have a bag, and there's right counters, and there is also green counters. But we don't know how many. We just thought there's R numbers, so it could be 10 right, it could be 10 green. Then we thought, that's why we need more information. So we thought a counter is taken at random from the bag, and the probability that the counter is green is 3 over 7. So the probability of being green, so let's write this down. So the probability of being green is 3 over 7. What this means, so remember we can write probability as success over total. So this means the probability of picking a green, so your green over your total, what's your total, which is what type of counters you have in the bag, is green or red. So you can either have green or red. So it's basically saying you have 3 over 7 chance of picking green over the total. Then let's continue reading. The counter is put back in the bag, then 2 more red counters and 3 more green counters are put in the bag. So the red counter we have +2, and the green counters we have 3 more. Then a counter is taken at random from the bag. The probability of green is 6 over 13. So what we're seeing here is that the new one. So again, it's success over total. So the probability of getting the green is now 6 over 13. But what happened is that the green, we have 3 extra. And the total, what happened to the total? The red, we have 2 more. And for greens, we have 3 more. Okay, now this is looking very complicated, but it's just asking us to solve the equation. So we can do a substitution here. So let's rearrange our equation here. So let's make R the subject. So let's look at this here. So we have 3 over 7 is equals to green over red plus green. And we want to make R the subject, so we can substitute it into the new equation. So we have R plus G, so that's divide, so we need to multiply. So this becomes 3 multiplied by R plus G over 7 equals to G. Then this is divided by 7, so we're moving to the other side, becomes 7G. Then we expand our bracket. Just making R the subject, so 7G minus 3G, which is 4G. So we know R is the same as 4G over 3, which is just 4 over 3G. Now what we could do, we could solve into this equation. So let's just simplify this slightly. So I have 6 over 13 is equals to G plus 3, R plus G, and 2 plus 3 is 5. We figured out that R is the same as 4 over 3G, so we can substitute. So G plus 3 over 4 over 3 G plus G plus 5. Let's just simplify this little. So 6 over 13 is the same as, so G plus 3 divided by, so 4 over 3G plus G, so that's 4 over 3 plus G is 7 over 3G. Plus 5. Then remember this is divided by 7 over 3G plus 5. Moving to the other side, we are multiplying. So this becomes 6 over 13 multiplied by 7 over 3G plus 5 equals to G plus 3. Expand our bracket. So 6 over 13 multiplied by 3 over 7 and multiplied by 7 over 3. You should have 14 over 13G. Then 6 over 13 multiplied by 5 is 30 over 13 equals to G plus 3. Okay, let's just rearrange our equation. So making G on one side of the equation, so G minus 14, let's do this side, so 14 over 13 G minus G is same as 3 minus 30 over 13. So type into your calculator, we get 1 over 13G is equals to 9 over 13. Then multiply 13 on both sides, so we left with G is equals to 9. So we have 9 green counters. Now we can go back to our original. So we know that red is equals to 4 over 3G. We know green counters we have 9. Therefore red most equals to 4 over 3 multiplied by 9. And red is 12. So we have 12 red counters and 9 green counters. The diagram shows triangle L and N. Calculate the length Ln. So Ln is this length here. And we're asked to calculate the length, giving your answers to 3SF. So just looking at the diagram, what kind of information do we have? So we have the angle, N, and we have side N, and we are given length L. So firstly, I can use my sine rule to find this angle here. So remember to find the angle using the sine rule. It's sine A over A equals to sine B over B. So it's the opposite. So I have my angles 136 over the side, which is 15.7, equals to sine B, which I want to find out my angle here, which I'm just going to call it X, divided by B, which is the length opposite, which is 12.8. So just rearrange my equation and find X. So this is 12.8 sine 136 over 15.7 equals to sine X. And remember, to find the angle, we need to do sine minus 1. Please have a go at typing onto your calculator. So we know this angle is 34.5. So I just found out this angle here is 34.5. What do we know angles in a triangle? They add to 180. Therefore, I know this missing angle here must be 9.5. Therefore, I know this angle here must be 9.5. Then I can use my sine rule again, because I got my pair of information. Now I have this angle, now I can find out my missing side. Remember, using the sine rule to find missing side is A over sine A equals to B over sine B. So when you're finding missing side, your side is on the top. So I have A, which is 15.7 over sine A, sine 136, equals to B, which is what I want to find, and angle, which is here 9.5, so sine 9.5. Rearrange my equation. So I have 15.7 sine 9.5 divided by sine 136. And just type onto your calculator. So my length B is 3.5. 1.73. Question 8. Calculate the length of PR. So I'm interested in this length. What kind of triangle do I have here? Is an isosceles triangle because it has two equal sides. So this means this side must also be 8 centimeters. When we have an angle and two sides, I'm thinking about my cosine rule to find. So I have a squared equals to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. So I'm just going to relabel my diagram here. So this is the angle I given, so I'm going to call this angle A, and this is side A, and this can be B, little b, C, and little c. So I want to find out my side A. So b squared is 8 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 8 times 8 multiplied by cos A, which is 140. Then type this into your calculator. So we get a squared equals to 226.05. But remember, we want to find the length a. This is a squared, so you must remember to square root your answer. So your final answer for it's 15.023 SF. Question 9. Calculate the area of a triangle. So when we see the area, and we can recognize this is not a right angle, and we're not given the height, straight away we write down our formula for the area, which is half AB sin C. So your half multiplied by your A, which is 9. Just remember to label your diagram. So this is side A, side B, and side C. So your A is 14.6, your B is 9.2, and your angle C is 64. And just type into your calculator, you should get 60.4. Part B, we're asked to calculate the length AB. So this time we're going to use our cosine rule again, because we have two sides, an angle in between, and the side is opposite the angle that's unknown. So the side opposite the angle is unknown, and we have two sides and an angle in between. We know we're going to use our cosine rule. So our cosine rule is, so just to make our life a bit easier, we're always going to call the angle, let's make this angle A. Let's call this angle A, side A. So we want to find out our side A. So you don't need to memorize the different format. So it's always be A squared equals to B squared plus C squared minus 2bc cos A. And this is side B, and I'm just going to call this C. And this side C. So just substitute the numbers into the equation. So my A squared, so my length A is what I want to find. My B is 9.2 squared. My C is 14.6 squared. Minus 2 times 9.2 times 14.6 cos 64. Then just type it onto your calculator. So you should have 180.03. Then remember, we want to find the length, so you must need to square root your answer. So square root answer, you should get the length 13.4 to 3SF. Question 10. We're told that the two triangles ABC, PQR are similar right angles. And angle ABC is equals to angle PQR. And we have to work out the length PR. So we want to find this length here. And what is the ratio? So what do we multiply to get from 15 to 10? So what is our scale factor? So 15 multiply a number would give you 10. So this is the same as 10 divided by 15. So it's 2/3. So it's saying that to get from here to here, we must multiply by 2/3. So that is our scale factor. Therefore, this length, they are similar. So this is just saying this length is the same as this length here. Therefore, it's also 9 multiplied by 2/3. Which is 6. We thought we have a triangle EGH. So EGH, so this triangle here, and this triangle here, KGF, they are congruent. If we say a triangle are congruent, that means they are exactly the same. So let's just label it. So we thought that KH, so from K to H, so this distance is 10. And we thought that H to G is 4. Therefore, G to K must be 6. Because they're congruent, therefore we know that this long side, so we know this side here is the same as this side here. So we know this length here must also be 6. And the shorter side, which is 4, which is this length here, which is 4. And we asked to work out the length EF. So if we know this total length here is 6 and that's 4, this must be 2. As 2 add 4 equals 6. So your answer is 2.